Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, today we embark on a journey through the fascinating world of research findings on the developmental and socio-cultural dimensions of learning. Our goal is to explore why this research matters and how it shapes the way we understand education. So, first, let's dive into the nature of man. Let's begin by acknowledging that humans are social beings by nature. Man is by nature is a social being, and as such, his social nature has been studied and used as a basis to explain many of his behaviors. This inherent social nature has been the subject of extensive research, helping us comprehend many of our behaviors. But how do we know these theories about human behavior are true? Well, that's where research comes in. Now, the proof of the veracity of the theories can be obtained with the conduct of research and the studies. Now, let's define research. Before we delve into the research findings on developmental and social cultural dimensions of learning, let's define research first. Research is defined as a systematic and orderly way of studying and looking for new information meant to add to and build up existing knowledge. Now let's go to the importance of research findings. Here are the importance of research findings on the developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning. First is to gather more data on the developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning. Also, it enables practitioners to analyze and evaluate for themselves what are the best practices to apply in their teaching task. Now, isn't that great? Now, are we ready to proceed with our research findings? Okay, here let us explore five research findings on developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning. First is parental involvement. This research shows that parents with higher education value their role in their children's education, and this involvement positively impacts students' achievements. The more parents engage in their children's learning, the better the results. Let's explore what Schneider and Coleman have to say about parental involvement. Like I said, parents with higher education are more likely to think and believe that their involvement in their children's education is very important than parents of lower education. The study conducted by Schneider and Coleman in 1993, as referenced in Santrak's work in 2011, examined the relationship between parents' level of education and their perceptions regarding the importance of their involvement in their children's education. The study revealed that parents with higher levels of education, meaning those who had completed more years of formal schooling, were more inclined to express a strong belief in the significance of their active engagement in their children's educational experiences. Essentially, they were more likely to place a high value on participating in their child's learning and academic development compared to parents with lower levels of education. This finding highlights an association between parental education and attitudes toward involvement in their children's schooling. Now let's go to Cotton and Weichland. Here it states that parental involvement and engagement is positively related to students' achievement. The study conducted by Cotton and Weichland found that when parents are actively involved and engaged in the children's education, it has a positive impact on the student's academic achievement. In simpler terms, When parents are interested and participate in their kids' learning, the kids tend to do better in school. Now let's check out Vinograd, Bausel, and Bausel's study. According to a study by Vinograd Bausel and Bausel in 1987, students who were taught at home by their parents showed significantly better performance in recognizing words. In other words, children who received instruction from their parents at home were better at reading and identifying words compared to those who didn't receive such guidance at home. Now let's proceed to our second research finding. It is on the parenting style and child rearing. First, we're going to about a study by Wakefield. He found that following parenting services to result in improved motivation and achievement. In a study by Wakefield and colleagues in 2006, highlighted in Santrock's work in 2011, several parenting practices were identified as leading to increased motivation and achievement in children. These services, these parenting services include knowing enough about the child to provide the right amount of challenge and the right amount of support. Second, providing a positive emotional climate which motivates children to internalize their parents' values and goals. And third, modeling motivated achievement behavior, working hard and persisting with effort at challenging tasks. Now let's go to a study by Diana Baumrind. Let's move on to parenting styles. First, we're going to get to know Diana Baumrind, an expert in developmental psychology and parenting, identified four parenting styles and the outcomes of each of these styles. So, Diana identified four parenting styles. First is authoritative parents. What does this mean? Authoritative parents, as defined by Diana, are characterized by a balanced and nurturing approach to parenting. They set clear rules and boundaries for their children while also fostering open communication and discussion. These parents are responsive to their child's needs and feelings. They provide guidance and encourage independence. Authoritative parents create an environment where children can express themselves, make decisions with limits, and develop self discipline. This parenting style often leads to children who are self confident, competent, and socially skilled. So here, they the children tend to have children authoritative parents tend to have children who are high achievers and who interact with peers using competent social skills. While they set rules and boundaries, they encourage open discussion and reasoning. Could be the reason why their children achieve highly and are socially competent. Let's go to our second parenting style. It is called authoritarian parents. According to Diana, authoritarian parents are characterized by strict and demanding parenting. They set rigid rules and high expectations for their children, while often displaying limited warmth and responsiveness. Authoritarian parents prioritize obedience and discipline, and they tend to use punishment as a means of control. This parenting style may result in children who are well behaved but may struggle with decision making and independence due to the strict structure imposed by their parents. Authoritarian parents tend to have children who perform worse academically, who are less independent, and are generally unhappy. Our third type of parenting style is called indulgent parents. Indulgent parents are characterized by being highly responsive and permissive towards their children. They are lenient with rules and boundaries, often allowing their children significant freedom and autonomy. Indulgent parents prioritize their child's happiness and may avoid discipline or setting firm limits. While children of indulgent parents often feel loved and free, they may struggle with self control and boundaries due to the lack of structure and guidance. Indulgent parents tend to have children who encounter more problems in relationship and interactions. And lastly, our last parenting style is called uninvolved or neglectful parents. In the context of Diana's parenting styles, neglectful parents are characterized by a lack of both responsiveness and demandingness. They are generally disengaged and uninvolved in their children's lives, often neglecting their emotional and physical needs. Neglectful parents may inadvertently or intentionally provide minimal guidance, attention, or support to their children. This parenting style can have serious negative consequences on a child's emotional and cognitive development, as they may lack the necessary care and attention required for healthy growth. Neglectful parents, children tend to be more impulsive and they cannot regulate their emotions. So, what kind of parent are you? Let us know in your comment below. In line with parenting styles, let's check out a study by Mooney and Kingsley Nyarko. In a study by Mooney and Kingsley Nyarko, it was discovered that adolescents who grew up with authoritative parents tended to excel academically. Conversely, adolescents raised by either indulgent or uninvolved parents tend to perform less well in academics. This underscores the positive impact of authoritative parenting on a child's educational achievements compared to other parenting styles. So that's all for parenting style and child rearing. Let's proceed to our third research finding. It is called provision for specific experiences at home. This research finding highlights the significance of the home environment in shaping a child's interest and motivation for various activities. Research by Mariah Evans and her colleagues showed that providing resources like books at home is exceptionally vital. Surprisingly, having books at home matters even more than the level of education the parents themselves have attained. In fact, it was found that having books at home is twice as influential in determining a child's academic and educational achievements compared to parental educational levels. This underscores the pivotal role of a stimulating home environment in a child's learning journey. Now let's proceed to our fourth research finding. It is all about peer influence. Peer influence plays a significant role in a student's motivation and academic success. Studies state that having disruptive friends in adolescence was linked to lower likelihood of graduating high school. Now that's how important friends are. Now let's get into a study by Dodge. According to Dodge, peer influence was also found to affect a student's motivation in many ways. It was found that students who are more accepted by their peers and who have good social skills often do better in school and have positive academic achievement motivation. Second, in contrast to this, students who were rejected, especially those who are aggressive, are at risk for problems in achievement, including low grades and dropping out of school. A recent study revealed that having disruptive friends in adolescence was linked to lower likelihood of graduation from high school. Having friends who are academically oriented is linked to higher achievement. Now, let's proceed to an analysis by Kirk Johnson. Kirk Johnson made an analysis of data on peer influences and social interaction, and other factors linked to academic achievement. Taken from the 1998 National Assessment of Educational Progress. From his analysis, he came up with these findings. Finding number one, it states that the peer effect is particularly a strong effect on achievement, especially among fourth graders. Kirk Johnson's research finding indicates that the influence of peers has a particularly significant impact on academic achievement, especially among fourth grade students. In simpler terms, children in the fourth grade can be greatly influenced by their peers when it comes to how well they do in school. Peer interactions and relationships seem to play a more pronounced role in shaping academic outcomes at this stage of development. Kirk Johnson's second finding is states that the peer effect is independent of other variables like ethnicity, gender, income, and other background variables. This research finding suggests that the influence of peers on academic performance stands on its own and is not dependent on factors such as ethnicity, gender, income, or other background variables. In simpler terms, regardless of a student's background or characteristics, the impact of their peers on their academic outcomes remains consistent and separate from these other factors. Peer influence is a universal factor that affects students irrespective of their individual differences. And lastly, on peer influence, let's delve into a research by Liu. Liu's research in 2010 discovered a strong connection between peer influence and how well students perform in subjects like reading and math. In other words, when students are influenced positively by their friends, they tend to do better in these subjects. This highlights the importance of peer support and interactions in a student's academic success. That's all for peer influence. So now we are going to on our last research finding. Our last research finding on developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning. It is all about teachers. As we all know, teachers play a crucial role in a student's learning. Now let's see what Perry, Donahue, and Weinstein has to say about this. The study conducted by Perry, Donahue, and Weinstein in 2007, as cited in Sonntag's work in 2011, revealed that providing both instructional guidance and emotional support to first grade students had a positive association with their academic achievement. In simpler terms, when teachers offered both help with learning and emotional support, it resulted in better academic performance among first grade students. This emphasizes the importance of a supportive and caring classroom environment for young learners' success. Now let's go on Wenzel. What does Wenzel has to say? In a study by Wenzel in 1997, As mentioned in Sandrak's work in 2011, students evaluated how much their teachers cared for them based on their teaching methods. The results indicated that students were most motivated when teachers not only offered academic support but also showed emotional care and understanding. In simpler terms, students feel most inspired to learn when their teachers provide both intellectual guidance and emotional support, emphasizing the importance of a supportive teacher student relationship in enhancing motivation and learning. And lastly, let's go to Muntner. Muntner's study in 2008 identified 10 key factors to enhance student teacher interaction in classrooms. These factors fall into three categories. First is on emotional support. This includes fostering a positive and caring classroom. Second category is on classroom organization. It involves arranging the classroom environment in an orderly and effective manner. And third, instructional support. This category focuses on providing effective teaching methods and resources. In essence, Muntner's research highlights the importance of these factors in creating an environment where students can better connect with their teachers, promoting a positive and productive learning experience. Now, that's all for our research findings on developmental and social-cultural dimensions of learning. Now, let's go to our conclusion. Research on developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning sheds light on how people develop and learn in social contexts. It emphasizes the importance of conducting systematic research to enhance our understanding. Research is a structured process of gathering knowledge and expanding what we already know. The significance of this research becomes evident through several key findings. First is on parental involvement, then we have our parenting styles, our peer influence, and lastly, on teacher impact. To summarize this all, this research offers valuable insights for both educators and parents, enabling them to better support students in their educational journey by understanding the developmental and sociocultural factors that influence learning. That's all for today. Thank you all for joining this enlightening discussion on research findings related to the developmental and sociocultural dimensions of learning. We've journeyed through various studies and insights that underscore the importance of parental involvement, parenting styles, home experiences, peer influence, and the role of teachers in shaping a student's educational journey. Remember, research is like a guiding light, illuminating the path to better education. It empowers educators, parents, and policymakers to make informed decisions that can positively impact the lives of learners. So, let's continue to explore, learn, and apply these research findings to create a brighter future for all students. Stay curious and keep on learning. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.